Hello, good day from this side of Nigeria. Hope this meets you well. Yeah, it's been quite a while, and that's because the children were on break, and there was so much I wanted to do, but then them being on break just brought a pause to a lot of my activities. So I apologize profusely for that. So today we will be discussing how to bring up your children in a balanced way. I'm going to open this discussion with a discussion or a talk I had with a 14-year-old. He was furious, he was sad. Well, I actually noticed that he was depressed, so I just walked up to him, tried making friends with him, and then he opened up to me, and part of the things he said was that they are always under lock and key. Their parents would not allow them to go outside, to go to any other place outside school. Even in church, when they go to church, once the church is over, they get into the car and get back home. They don't allow them to mingle, they don't allow them to attend programs that are for their age group. And he's saying that he's depressed and he has started doing stuff. And I'm not going to say these things because they are quite confidential. And then he is scared that it might be hurting himself or doing something not so what's it called, he will be doing things that he's not so proud of in the nearest future. Now, there are a lot of children who are facing this type of challenge, and then I wonder what is making parents go in such a direction. Oh, I get it. You don't want your children to mix up with the bad eggs. You don't want your children to get polluted. You want to keep them from danger. You want to keep them from harm's way. The wolves are out there, and then you want to keep your children from kidnapping and all sorts of vices. But then don't you think that you are doing more harm to them by locking them up at home? In sociology, we call these children latchkey kids. They are not allowed, they are not permitted to go anywhere else, just go to school and come back home. For Christ's sake, some are even homeschooled. So they are totally cut off from the outside world. And this is very, very dangerous. It is damaging to the child, to say the least. Now take yourself for example. We just came out of a total lockdown. How did you feel then? How did you were you able to cope? Were you happy that you could not do the things you were meant to do? You could not go out, you could not partake in social activities like you do. Social activities, going out and coming in, transcends just my child is going out. It is education. There are a lot of things you learn when you go out, when you mingle, when you fellowship with people together. Going to school is not enough. If you're saying that they don't want you don't want your children to get mixed up with bad eggs and all, fine. But what happens in school? Do you follow them to school? You don't follow them to school. A lot of things can happen. What you are meant to do as a parent is to always sit your child down and always communicate with your child per level per second. You have to be friends with your child. You have to train your child. The Bible says that you train your child in the way it should go, and when it grows up, he will not depart from it. You cannot keep your child at home hoping that they are safe. And then what do you replace the activities with? You replace it with smartphones, you replace them with TVs, with laptops, with iPads. And I am telling you that even this is more dangerous for your kids. Now look at the people that invented iPads, iPhones, and everything. They do not even give their children these smart devices because they know the danger. There are a lot of things that are going on online now, and there are a lot of issues. There are a lot of vices that your children can easily pick. Check the cartoons; they have this undertone of sexual immorality in them. Check some cartoons. I was speaking with some parents the other day, and then some of them were complaining. A parent was watching a cartoon with the child and realized that they are already bringing in gay, lesbianism and all into it. Now, if you don't want that for your child, I think that you are going the wrong direction. There are things that you can do to keep your child busy. Like I said, going out is education. Your child goes to school to learn. Now, education is not just about academics. There are a lot of ways to learn, and I personally feel that academics is just one of the minutest places or one of the minutest elements of learning for children. For example, you when your child is 8 years old, I feel your child should be able to go to the store down the street and get you simple things. Go and buy sugar, go and buy milk. You are training them, because by the time the child brings back your change, no, didn't you calculate the change? You are teaching that child mathematics, you are teaching that child communication, you are teaching that child critical thinking, you are teaching that child how to handle things and how to be proactive. So the child comes in, and then probably you gave the child 500 naira, and then the child brought sugar of 200 naira, and they gave the child 200 naira change. By the time the child comes back and you say, ah, didn't you calculate the change? You bought 200 naira worth of sugar. I gave you 500 naira. Okay, so 200 minus 500. By that time, the child you activate the child's thinking. Do you get you the child? Okay, 300. Okay, so it is 300 naira, but how much change did they give you? 200, which means you are short of 100 naira. So you go back and explain to them. There are a lot of things that you would achieve when you engage your children in activities. Let your children mingle. There are a lot of things they will learn from their peers, from people around them. I don't know about you, but when I go to people's houses, when I visit people, I pick one or two things from them. I might say, oh, okay, this is the way this woman washes her rice. Oh, interesting. I'll try it out. Oh, I learned how to lay a new how to I learned a new method of laying a bed, or fixing houses, or fixing things. It is education. When you go out with your children and they meet an adult, or they meet people, you tell them greet. But how do you even train your children in that direction when you do not even allow them to go out? All in the name of, I don't want them to be polluted. I call that lazy parenting. It is just a lazy way of parenting. You don't want people to you don't want to do the job, so you find an easy way out by caging the children. In the outbreak of war in Ukraine, I read a lot of stories about how people were trying to escape, how people were trying to run and escape the heat that is happening in Ukraine. But then one child would not even bother to go, and he's told his mom point blank, I don't know how I'm going to survive. I don't even think I can survive it. Now, it was the mother that was writing it. I think I read it on Facebook. So it was the mother that was writing it, and then she said that now she sees how she has spoiled the life of her child. Because all the life of that child, the child has been shielded. You won't even allow your child to think. The child wants to write exam. You follow the child. You do everything for the child. What the child can do, what you should expose the child to, that the child should be able to do by his or herself. You all in the name of, I don't want my children to suffer. I don't want to expose them to the ills and vices of the society. You take up the challenge for them, you do the things for them. And let me ask you, when exactly won't they be exposed to the ills of the society? A mother was saying this uh, probably last year or 2 years ago, that she does not allow her children to go out, even when they want to go and buy biscuits or so, that the driver will take them. The driver takes them to school and brings them back home. The children do not have a social life in a nutshell. The children do not go out. And then she realized that her teenage daughter was pregnant. Then she said that world came crumbling, and she even had the guts, the audacity to say that she won't forgive her child. I mean, you are clearly the failure here. Why are you blaming the child? What you were meant to teach the child and train the child with, you did not. And now you are saying that you are disappointed in your child, you will never forgive your child. What is there not to forgive? There are a lot of goods in allowing your children to go out. Train them in what to do. At each stage, let them be responsible for themselves. Let them be responsible for the things they would do. Let them responsible for for their things. For example, we have a 4 year old and she likes taking her back to church, and you know that 4 years they are still carefree, they will just throw their things around, and then it is you the mother that would start picking it up after them. So at a point I told her I will no longer pick up after you in church. If you forget your bag, that is the end of it. And most times when I see that we are ready to leave church and then she's not with her bag, I just call her name. Where is your bag? I stand exactly where I am. I'm looking at the bag, but I won't even point it out to her. I want her to be responsible for her things. So I did that for a couple of times, and right now we are the place where if she wants to go and play, she brings her bag back to me and say, "Mommy, can you help me keep my bag? I don't want to get it lost." When she comes back from school, she knows what to do. It goes like this: you remove your socks, you remove your shoes, you remove your socks, you remove your uniform, you empty your lunch bag, put your plates in the kitchen, put your jersey uniforms in the laundry basket, and then we take it from there. Now I don't even have to remind her every time. She already knows what to do. And right now, when herself and her younger brother are done playing and they scatter the sitting room, I do not even bother. I just say, the sitting room is scattered, fix it up. And within minutes, it is fixed. It might not be so perfect, but then the majority of the junks, of the deaths, of the litter is off the floor. The throw pillows are in their place, the toys are in their place, and what have you. Let these children learn. As they learn, you would, as a matter of fact, you would, in the nearest future, you would have peace of mind. You will be free from a lot of things. You won't have the issue of, will my child be able to handle this? Will my child be able to handle that? At what age do you think that your children should be able to enter the kitchen and light the gas stove and cook simple meals? I feel at age 8, age 7, age 8, they should be able to boil water, cook noodles. That, I feel that, because myself personally, at age 10, I was already cooking whole meals for the family. So, and at age 9, I could go to the market with market lists and go and buy things. Now you might say that things are more dangerous now than when I was growing up. I'm not too old. I'm still in my very, very early 30s, so I'm not too old. So, and then I could remember when I'm going to the market, my mom would say, "Don't listen to anybody. Oh. When anybody calls you, don't answer. Oh. Go straight, buy what you want to buy, and come back." And now I'm better for it. I'm married. I can handle my own things myself. I can't remember any time I ever called my mom that, "Mom, I don't know how to find my way around the market." If I have to call my mom after I got married on little little things, then don't you think my parents have failed? Exactly. If I have to go to school and then I still have to wait on my parents to take major or minor decisions for me, then don't you think they have failed me? I attended a private university, and then I saw the repercussions of raising latchkey children. You know, there was one that we just got in 100 level and all. It happened in the boys' hostel. It was my cousin that was just me, and the one of his friends wanted to borrow his bucket. So the boy had to call his mom that, "Mom, someone wants to borrow my bucket. Should I lend him?" Ah, see, that is, you might find it funny, but it is actually irritating and disgusting that your child cannot take simple decisions. If you cannot take simple decisions like that, how would I take decisions that really, really, really would affect his life? Another time, another boy was reading and his roommate was blasting music on the radio, and instead of him to just talk to the roommate, that, "Can you keep the volume low because I'm studying?" He called his mom. "Mom, my roommate is disturbing me with loud music. What should I do?" And then, is that the type of child you want to raise? A child that would keep calling you at every little things, or every little challenges they face in their life. Come on, you can do more than this. You can do better than this. Stop choosing the lazy way out. Invest in your children now. Invest in your children now. Have talks with them. Go on a stroll together. Send them on errand. Let them mingle with their mates. It is even by that that you know the potential of your child. You know this child is likely to go like this if we don't curb it. But a child that you do not even give the opportunity to show himself or to show herself, how would you know the potential the child has? And then those ones, they now get into university, their first contacts with the outside world without you breathing down their neck, and then unfortunately they fall into wrong hands. And I did not train you like this. Oh, when did you start smoking? Hey, please calm down, sit down, have a heart to heart talk with yourself. You failed the child. Let your children know these are the boundaries, these are healthy boundaries that you do not cross. These are the repercussions for things like this. Always let them know there are repercussions for your actions or inactions. And then let them get involved with things at home. I used to have a roommate that could not even cook. I mean, if she boils water, it will burn. She couldn't cook easy meals like our very own Eba. She couldn't prepare custard. We were the ones that were trying to teach her, and then it was a private university, they wouldn't even allow us to cook. So those ones that we could cook or we could prepare without necessarily switching on a gas stove and all, we tried to what's it called? To help her, to train her, to teach her how to do them. Then one day, I can't remember what we were teaching her, and she said, "Ha, now I can see that my parents spoiled my life totally." You don't want your children to look back and be cursing you, all in the name of trying to shield them from the hard part of life. Let them face it. Always bailing your children out of difficult situations is not helping them. You are destroying them. Your children forget assignments at home. After telling them, if you forget your assignment at home, I'm not going to bring it to you. At a particular stage, like even our 4-year-old knows that if she forgets her assignment at home, that's the end of the assignment. You get punished for it in school. When the next day you would remember to put your assignment in your bag. But you run with everything in you. As a good mother or the good father that you are, you carry the assignment and take it to school. Come on. Let your children be responsible for themselves. Let your children be responsible for their actions. Oh, okay. Um, this video is getting too long, so I would stop here right now and I will continue next week. So till I come your way, please do a good job in raising your children. The society will bless you for it, and your children will bless you for it. Bye. Please subscribe to our channel, YouTube Mind the Device. Give us a thumbs up, like our videos. It means a lot to us. Comment on it, tell people about it. If you are learning from it, please tell people about it. We would like to hear from you. If you want to contact us, just drop a message for us. We would get across to you. Thank you very much. And if you would like to follow us on our other social media pages, we're on Facebook as Mind Device, and we are on Instagram as mind underscore the underscore vice. Thank you very much. God bless you.